Did I tell you, I don't know if you've seen this, on my Acura, which is a 1998 Acura, which is going to the body shop today, by the way. I'm taking
Today's the day.
Today's the day. We have a client here, good friends of ours, Crescent Ford, and they are taking it on as a project to try and restore it to its original glory.
Keyword try.
Okay?
They're calling it Project Frankenstein.
They had to build a wing onto their dealership to get it.
Can you imagine the lengths they've gone to get parts and things for? I mean, calling places across the country.
Well, right. Remember I took it over a couple of weeks ago, and all the body shop guys came out and went, my God.
Not this.
One of them just like...
We don't have the tools for this.
One of them quit. One of them said, I'm done. I'm done here. He just turned around
Retired early.
He retired right there. That was it. And like they were looking at everything, like it's going to need a new hood, it's going to need a new door, and it's going to need this.
And that's just the outside.
And then the inside, you know what the driver's seat looks like.
Synced it.
Oh yeah, and they're just like, my God, they're going to have to keep it at least 6 weeks. They said this is a 6-week project.
Are you prepared to be away from it that long?
Well, I'll have to be. Yeah, we've made arrangements, and so I will be away from my vehicle for 6 weeks.
Do you have to embarrassingly empty it out in front of them?
I'm going to do that before I go. I told him, give me a little extra time, because I'm going to need a moment.
As you chisel some crumbs off of something.
Yeah, it's not like a garbage can where you can flip it over and just pour out all the French fries.
I still think we're going to find out it's the crumbs that have been holding it together.
You said when they vacuum it, that'll be it.
That's what's holding it together. Polynesian.
I know.
That's the sealant.
Hardened Polynesian sauce.
A friend of mine just got new tires. He drives an Audi, and he just got new tires. And he goes, my tires were $1,700, which is about 5 times the value of your whole car. And I said, you paid $1,700 for tires? I couldn't believe it.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
That is high.
Some sort of special,
performance tires.
Performance tire, Audi.
Yeah, what do you drive that's so
so
performing?
I said I couldn't believe. He's like, I couldn't believe the price
You're
myself.
driving on the same road I'm driving on.
He was surprised that the price was so high, but he likes the vehicle, so he's keeping it, and he needed new tires, and they're performance tires. And so it was $1,700, and I thought, my God, and it is worth way.
Tires are expensive. I mean, $100 for tires, cheap.
Now, on the Acura, have you seen the passenger side mirror?
Yeah.
You noticed it.
Yeah, it's not. It's the side mirror that should be horizontal, and she's at an angle just a little.
Well, it's cracked. I mean, it's cracked.
She's cracked.
The
mirror surface?
Not the mirror, but the outer shell of it is cracked and damaged, and I don't know how it happened. I remember seeing it one day going, what's going on with that? Now,
something could have hit it.
Okay. My son, my 16-year-old, it was a year ago, so he was 15, and we'd let him drive around the neighborhood. And I remember noticing one day, and I thought, I bet he hit the garage coming out. I bet that's what happened, that he popped it. Because I didn't remember doing that, although sometimes, I hit that. I don't even know.
You scraped it.
Right. I mean, so I got him, and I questioned him at the time, a year ago at least. And I said, did you break this mirror? And he goes, no, I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about. And, I believed him. And I said, I must have hit the garage coming in and cracked it. Because it's cracked. It's broken.
Right.
Can you see out of it?
Yeah, the mirror's fine. It's the casing behind it. It's a white casing. You know how a mirror is. And it still has function where you can move it.
Okay.
But everything else, all the plastic is messed up. And even when I got it inspected, they said, you don't need technically a passenger side mirror because the vehicle is so old. They grandfather you.
Grandfather?
His grandfather. He said,
no one will ever pass this vehicle on the right.
He said,
not going to risk that.
It'll never be in the left lane.
That's right. That's right.
You're not allowed in the fast lane.
I remember what the mechanic said. The mechanic said, if you want me to rip this right off, it'll be a better look for it. And you don't technically need the mirror. I said, yeah, but I want the mirror. So I kept it. Well, last weekend, my son was in the car for the first time in a while. I was driving. He was in the passenger seat. And he looked over at me. We were at a red light. And he said, I got to come clean. I've been capping hard. And I said, that means lying, by the way.
Oh, right. When you say no cap, that means I'm telling the truth.
That's right. He goes, I've been capping hard for about a year. And I said, you've been capping hard? About what? And he goes,
Did you know instantly what he meant?
No. I mean, it was completely, I was like, what do you mean you've been capping? And he goes, I've been capping hard about this mirror. And I said, what? And he said, yeah, I can no longer cap. It's like George Washington,
I cannot cap.
I cannot cap. any longer.
Sounds better than lie.
Yeah. He says, getting in my conscience. He's like, I'm OG pimp.
My conscious.
I have to keep it real. 100%.
He says, as an OG pimp, I cannot cap. He said he was driving around the neighborhood and he clipped a trash can. And I said, "Oh, I knew."
That's not code. That's not code for like old man Mr. Peters, is it?
A trashy man.
Okay.
A lady walking a dog.
So I said, all right.
My hip.
Oh, snap!
Now that is capping hard.
Yeah. So I said, we had a talking to about capping.
Mm-hmm.
Did you go Brady Bunch dad
I
on him?
did. I said,
Son, driving a car is a big responsibility.
I did a lot.
You're part of that responsibility.
And when you lie, Jesus cries.
One lie on top of it. And, I said, for a year.
Remember all that rain we had? Those were God's tears, Peter. My name's not Peter. I know. I'm on a roll.
I said, I'm the one that thought I had hit the garage. I wasn't sure what had happened,
You questioned yourself.
I did. And
So will there be a reckoning? Or is his honesty the reckoning?
That, to me, the honesty was the reckoning. And we...
Son!
We have to have a discussion about this thing now. And then we got home and everything was fine.
Got some chicken and pickles carrying in the bag.
Everything was fine.
TV's on.
Yeah.
In through the screen patio door.
Right. He said, I'm off to the malt shop. I said, okay. So he left.
Take your sister with you.
And I turned to my wife and I said, he's been capping for a year. And she said, what? What are you talking about? He's been capping for. So
It's going to cost us money.
Well, I told her. And she goes, a trash can. Now, the trash can is plastic, She's like,
The car's plastic.
right. She said the trash can's not going to bust it like that. I mean, it's really broken.
Oh.
I agree with her. I mean, I
Really?
Yeah, I think it would. The trash can would be pushed. I don't think. I mean, he came in contact with something solid.
How fast was he going, you think? Did he say?
He said neighborhood. He said he was driving around the neighborhood.
How fast was he going?
Well, I don't know. That's
This
a good
is looking more and more like old man Peters.
I think. There are all those signs up on lampposts, have you seen this man? I don't know.
World's longest silver alert.
I don't know. So
Check the lamppost.
So I'll make
Maybe
it
hit that.
clearer now. I think he hit a mailbox.
Oh, that could be.
And I think he thought it was a trash can, or he's still
Like one of those
capping.
brick ones, those enforced ones?
Yeah, you're going to lose on those.
Well, but ours are not. They're not enforced. But I could see just the head of the mailbox causing the crash. Much more so than a trash can. You know what our trash cans are? They're plastic. And but you'd have to be going.
I'm not
really
100%
fast.
dismissive that it's a trash can, but maybe
If
you're
they're
right.
full,
Maybe your wife is
they're
right.
powerful if they're full.
I guess
If
you're
it's
right.
empty, it's one thing. But
Yeah,
if
they're
you've got-
immobile if they're full, if they're really full.
You'd have to really hit it at a high rate of speed. I think you'd really have to see the mirror. I should have taken a picture of the mirror because it has.
You got to do before pictures of the vehicle anyway, right?
I do
Before the Project Frankenstein?
Yeah, I should go out there and show you what it
You were
looks like.
planning to do that, right?
Oh, yeah. We're taking a lot of pictures are being taken today when I take the Acura in. We have Echo on the line who knows something about the side mirror. Echo, go ahead.
Hey guys, D1 here. So my wife and I have been together for about 10 years, and during that time we've always had a roommate, and that roommate cannot drive. But my wife would secretly let her drive the car, which always upset me because there'd always be dinks and danks in the paint and the fenders. And one day I walk outside and there's a giant crack in the shell of the side mirror.
Right.
And for years she said it was her. Now last year she stopped capping.
Aha! Aha!
Roommate.
It's an epidemic
Not her.
of capping.
Capping for years. I can't. They cap. They will cap too.
lots of kids cap. Kids cap every day.
Oh, he's been capping hard. He said, I can no longer cap you. Thank you. I'm glad it didn't just
You
happen
gave him
to
all
me.
the bonus points for that, but your wife is calling BS.
She is. She says he's still capping, that he is now it's a minor cap. Thank
could
you,
be.
Echo. I appreciate you telling that story.
It seems like because it's your car, but it's had its days.
Yeah.
But it seems like if he'd have hit a trash can in the neighborhood, he'd come home and said, "I hit a trash can."
But there's significant damage.
There is bad damage. I mean, it is noticeable. It is.
I know, but I don't think he wanted you to see that. That's why he said that now, but I think it might have been something a little harder.
I do too. I just don't see how the trash can could do that kind of damage.
Can you probe his conscience further?
I'll have to try. I'll have to say. But I think he might think he hit a trash can, but in reality it was a mailbox. It's possible. But then again, that may be a pure cap.
Yeah.
It's a possibility.
Yeah, maybe he felt bad about only half capping.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Nice half cap.
Well, this is a half cap.
I like a full
Allegedly.
cap, half
Allegedly.
cap.
Well, as a parent,
full cap, half cap.
as a parent, you want a full cap.
Foamy, yeah.
For OG Pimp. OG Pimp.
Who's dropping a bag for this half cap?
Vanilla Thunder, you have a comment on this. My mirror being broken. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I was leaving work one day, and I take back streets on the way. I work in the city. I take these back streets where there's a bunch of houses. Well, one of them had their trash pushed out far to the curb, and I did hit it with my mirror, and it popped my whole mirror out.
Oh, it did. Okay. Well, I'm glad to hear you say
it could
that.
happen.
Okay. I'm glad to hear you say that. Maybe he's not.
I'm not ready yet to totally dismiss the trash
Okay,
can
all right.
theory.
If it's full, I suppose it's possible. It's a very odd. Thank you very much, Vanilla Thunder.
Sorry about your mirror.
It's an odd breakage. You can see it. It's like it's been chewed around the side or something. It really looks strange. I wish.
Did you study the color of it? Is it discolored? Because you don't wash the car.
Not discolored. It's just
There's
gone.
there's no green or brown on it from a can.
No. Oh, that's a good
But
question.
that's plastic. It wouldn't show up.
Not that I've
Cans.
seen. I haven't seen. There's no discoloration to it. Danny, you're talking about the mirror and a possibility that the trash can cracked it. Go ahead.
Absolutely possible because I've done it myself.
Okay.
I had one sticking down the road like that too, and it obliterated the crap out of the mirror.
Okay. Well, maybe you're right then. Okay. Then I believed him. Just kind of thought, okay.
Will you share this with your wife, or will she never remove the cloud of suspicion?
It's hard to remove because he's capped before. He'll do it.
But he was the non-capper, wasn't he?
He didn't cap for a long time.
When he was a kid, he never capped.
That's right. But once he
What
reached,
happened?
Well,
Pimpin'?
once you go big pimping, sometimes once you go OG pimp, I guess sometimes you cap. Well, Jeff, you're talking about side mirrors as well. Go ahead.
Yes, I have a similar situation to you. I got a really old car that my wife wants me to get rid of. I thought it'd be funny one day in a curve on Horseman Creek Road to see how close I could get to a trash can. I smacked it at about 45 miles an hour, and it shattered the mirror.
It did.
Should do.
So similar to you and your son, when I got home, my wife was like, "What happened to your mirror?" I was like, "I don't know. Someone in the parking lot smashed it."
I know.
You're capping.
Everybody caps about mirrors.
Yeah, I didn't know. That's a pretty fun game. Let me see how close I can get to this.
On that crap road? Yeah. There's all those curves
on that road
in
with all the
construction.
Always a work
on
zone.
there?
Oh,
Yes.
it's a hell road.
Oh, thank you, Jeff. I might play some of that. And when you have a car like mine,
You do what you want.
do what you want. I park next to all the buggies at the grocery store and all that. I don't care.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me one
People
bit.
slam when they open their door, it hits yours. You don't care.
I don't care.
Do it again.
Just do it. Doesn't bother me a bit. Heroin Scott, you're talking about side mirrors now. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, you're probably familiar with McDermott Street in Asheboro because I know you live near there, and I lived on McDermott Street.
I do know McDermott.
And
Yes.
it's not lined; it's a very narrow road. And I was going down there about 25 miles an hour, and another car was coming along. The only problem was it was taking up my side and his side of the road. Well, he eventually corrected enough to where we didn't have a head-on collision. We did smack mirrors, and we were probably going between 15 and 20 this time because we were going up that hill on McDermott. And it totally smashed both our mirrors at 15 miles an
At
hour.
15 miles an hour.
Yeah, but they were both moving.
Yeah,
That's
and you
a
see
little
it
different.
with cars. I see it with
Yeah.
a plastic trash. But I guess I'm proven wrong on this. That indeed it can happen. A lot of people have said I hit a trash can. Yeah, I see that too. I see it, Heroin Scott. I can see how that would
I
happen.
love stories like that because they're both thinking the same thing, looking at each other. This stupid son of a bitch.
Yeah.
What is
Move,
Get over. Get over.
and then you smack
Mac.
me. Oh, I know.
More and more, I'm thinking he's come completely uncapped on this.
You think so?
I think so.
You remove the cap.
We remove the cap.
Could be. I want you maybe to go and take a picture of the mirror.
Okay.
Because the damage is so odd looking. Take it from the front and the rear.
Do you think he tried to repair it?
I don't see any way you could. It's
I mean, to try to cover it up the incident
I guess
at the time,
I guess it's possible.
Dust it off with his shirt.
or duct tape it.
No tape on it. I'll tell you this. I mean, he capped immediately because I said to him the next day, I was like, what is this? Did you do this? Oh, no. No, I didn't do it. I don't know what you're talking about.
I think it's impressive that he, at his age, came clean. Even later on, because I would have...
Shocker.
I mean, there's secrets I still have.
That's when it goes to the grave.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I wasn't even questioning it. We were just in the car. I wasn't questioning it. And in my mind, it was gone. I didn't thought about it.
But he just looked over and saw it. And had the pangs of conscience.
Yes, and he said,
"There's hope for this boy yet."
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I really do. I think that's impressive.
I did too.
Father-son moment. He was driving you, and you felt like he needed to uncap.
Yes, he did, and he uncapped himself.
Were you drunk?
Me?
Was that why he was driving you?
No. Well, actually, I was driving. I was driving. He was in the passenger seat. Doug, you're talking about side mirrors now. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, it's mostly about capping as well. So I have clipped a mailbox, and it'll mess your mirror up like real quick. Even at slow speeds.
Yeah.
But as far as capping, my wife went on vacation when we lived in Florida. She drove up to North Carolina to visit her family. Well, apparently at the beginning of the trip, she hit a raccoon. It took a chunk out of the ground effect, ripped the plastic fender linings out, and started rubbing on the tire. Well, she drove up to North Carolina, back to Florida, and drove around for about a week before I came home one day, and I'm walking by the car. I'm like, what the heck is that? I look, I'm like, oh my gosh, this stuff's broken. I came in, I'm like, babe, what happened? She's like, oh, I meant to tell you I hit a raccoon on the way up. I just didn't want to say anything about it because you might be mad. I'm like, I'm mad because you rubbed a groove in the tire. Now we got to go buy a new tire and all this fender stuff.
Right, exactly. It's best to not cap.
Peter, when you lie,
you see,
he's absolutely right about
lies can build and build, and pretty soon, like a house of cards, they all come collapsing down. Now, how about some pot roast?
Then they went inside and had sex.
All right.
And stop staring at your sister.
She's not my sister.
Jim, you're talking about side mirrors. Go ahead.
Yeah, I certainly am. I think we can all probably agree that an owl weighs significantly less than a garbage can.
Oh, yes.
Agree.
Well, my adult daughter on to school was going to school one day. She's a teacher. And she hit an owl. It tore the mirror up, damaged the passenger window, and you would have never thought that something as light as a bird could do that much damage. But when you're going 45 miles an hour,
that's it.
Anything can hurt.
The thing, I guess, thank you very much, Jim. I think probably the worst offense that he had was he was probably going too fast in the neighborhood. It sounds like because he did do significant damage.
Yeah.
And it was, at the time, he didn't even have his license. He was just, we let him drive around the neighborhood.
Practice run.
Yes. So, okay.
All the phone calls this morning, too, all men. Twice as many women doing it. Not.
There you go.
Hitting and capping.
What?
Hitting things and capping.
Peter,
you see,
do we need to have a competition where we can see who can park the station wagon closest to the egg?
What do you want to get? You want to get a pylon and put an egg on it or something stupid like that?
Now, how about some pot roast?
What's for dinner? Pork chops and apple sauce.